Filming with kids. So, filming with kids can be very, very difficult. It can be a lot. And it can be super rewarding at the same time. But the biggest thing is that you need to make it fun, and you also need to make sure that you're adhering to child labor laws and that you're not overworking kids. But overworking kids is really hard to get away with, especially if they don't want to do it anymore. It's very difficult, especially on the indie level. So getting kids excited to work on a film, you need to try to make it minimal, make it quick, but make it exciting. Make them feel like the star. Make them feel like this is super cool, this is super unique. Get their parents involved. Get them feeling like they're doing really good. When a kid is engaged and a kid is really interested and really intrigued in the process and wants to do a good job, you'll see it and you need to reward it, because that will infect to the other kids that maybe are kind of like, whatever. We made a film called Spale, and this is actually with my kids. So we made this movie with my kids, and Noemi, my daughter, right? She went and she was playing this role of, the sister, and she was really like into it. Like, she really wanted to like do a good job. And so her brother Enoch, he was kind of not really feeling it, and he was like, are you sure this is gonna be worth it? He kept asking me, this is gonna be worth it, this is gonna be worth it, this is gonna be worth it. And she would just be like, Enoch, come on, and then he would be goofing off in the scene. She'd be like, Enoch, come on, like let's do this really good. Every direction that I gave her, she was like, okay, what do I do? How do I do it? Okay, gotcha. And then she would do it. Then Enoch started seeing how serious she was taking it and seeing how rewarding I was being of her, that he started wanting to do that too. He started taking more seriously. And when he started taking more seriously, I started rewarding him. As soon as I started rewarding him, now they both started to get into the zone. Once kids get into the zone, do everything you can not to break them out of the zone. If you break them out of the zone, it will be so hard to get them back into it. I just promise you. Working with children, once they feeling it and they're into it, you sacrifice everything else, right? Like, if you need to push lunch back, you push lunch back. Make sure you feed them lunch, make sure you take care of them, but you try your best to keep that engagement, because I tell you, that is such a gift that they give you when they go, I'm into it. Oh my God, like, you better take advantage. It's just like a sleeping baby. The baby's asleep, everybody's take advantage, right? Okay, now I'm gonna start reading my book that I really want to read, right? And I'm gonna just be dead silent. I'm gonna start doing my thing. I'm gonna watch my show. Don't say shit, don't do shit, let that baby sleep. That is where you really want to be when it comes to this kind of thing, right? Now, with that movie, right? Because he said, is it worth it? Once you film the movie, get something to them quickly. A still, a couple behind the scenes pictures, something that they can go, oh, that's cool, I got that. Then remind them as it starts getting ready to release, and be like, hey, remember that movie that you ran? It's about to come out. Give them a sense of, oh, okay, and they're getting excited about it. Give them, hey, that thing that you did, things are happening with it. It's moving forward. With the kids, we won some awards with that film. And I made sure that we celebrated every time something went through. We got a nomination. We got considered for a nomination. We went and we partied with the kids, and we made sure that the kids got to really enjoy the benefits of this, because most filmmakers, they get, a film festival or something like that, and they're like, yeah, that's cool, and then they're about done. Especially as you really start doing this more and more, especially years on years of this, you're just gonna kind of go, oh, another one, cool, that's awesome. Like, I appreciate it, don't get me wrong, I appreciate it, but yeah, this isn't like Sundance, like, I'm not gonna freak out because this isn't a big one, this isn't something crazy, this isn't what I'm striving to do. It's great, I appreciate it, I'm so thankful for it, I really am, but I'm not gonna lose my shit over this. For the kids, you need to amp it up a little bit, right? Have some fun with it. This film actually got us to a viewing party that we got to watch this film. These kids got to watch themselves on the big screen in the Chinese theater. We made such a big deal out of it. It was so cool. It was also the first time that I actually got to be on a panel. So it was like really cool for all of us. We really got to have a lot of fun with this movie that we just kind of showed up and had fun and made. Now the other thing is, when you're making the film and you're making it to the schedule, you really need to make it entertaining, make it fun. So me, I actually had no shot list for that movie. I had no storyboard, nothing. Because on all intents and purposes, I just want to have some fun with my family. and I want to do my thing. So I just had fun, and I just started going, oh, what if we did this? Oh, what if we did that? But I shot and moved on, shot and moved on. I looked in the camera, I went, nope, that shot looks good, and I moved on to the next one. I've been doing this for so many years that I'm more able to do that than most other filmmakers, especially if you're just starting. So if you're just starting, you probably shouldn't do films with kids. You know, it's just that's more of an advanced thing. You know, once you get to advanced portion, really make sure that you are advanced, right? Once you're at that stature, at that level, really make sure, can you do this to a tight schedule? Can you produce quickly, and can you produce what you're promising to produce, and at that level of quality that you normally produce when you plan, when you have to jump up and do it? Because you might have to jump up and do it. The kid might be like, I am not into this, or you know, they're just like, I've only got this much for you, and they start losing interest. You still really want a good performance out of it. You might need to move quickly. So if you need to move quickly, you need to be able to move quickly. And the thing is, make it engaging, make it fun, but keep it moving. If they mess up, don't feel bad to go, hey, we need to redo that, let's redo that. Hey, do it like this, do it like that. That's fine. But running over for safety, and keeping this kid just sitting in the same thing over and over again is gonna drive them crazy, especially on the indie level, okay? It's just, they don't have the awe. I mean, especially if you're doing it like in your house, you know, or you're doing it in some other thing. Like, if it's not this big, huge Hollywood thing where they're like, oh, I'm in Hollywood today, I'm doing this thing, you aren't gonna be able to get that benefit of being like, hey, you know, the parents are gonna be like, hey, you better get your shit together and sit and deal with this. They're not gonna do that for you. You're in indie cinema. This is not how that works. So you need to adapt, you need to be creative, you need to move forward with it. Make things happen, make it quick, make it fun, and then take care of the kids, right? If a child is uncomfortable with something, if a parent is uncomfortable with something, honestly, you shouldn't be doing things like that. We just saw this Nickelodeon documentary that's like, hey, like, if it's for kids, that's a whole different thing. That's another episode right there. But just working with kids in general, even if it's some, you know, crazy film that's super dark and it's not a kid's thing, you need to be very upfront to the parents and to the child, if they can understand you, what is expected, what it's going to be, what is going to happen. If they decide to change at the last second, that's a whole different situation. That's something you need to deal with on there, which will happen at times. But you need to be so transparent. If it is a horror movie and you're saying, hey, your child is going to go through this, right? We're going to simulate it like this. Have it planned, have it ready, have them being able to look at it and go, okay, I can see this is what's going to be, this is what your child's going to see, this is how safe they're going to be, this is how we're going to do it, you're going to be here, it's going to be okay. Okay, and then they'll do it, they'll deal with it, and they'll be okay with it, you know. But if you don't, if you just surprise them, you could be in some serious trouble. So working with kids, plan everything, just like everything I talk about where I say pre-plan, plan everything. But honestly, make it enjoyable. You're working with kids, make it fun. Make sure that they enjoy this experience. They are the ones that this is going to be a core memory for them. So make it a good one.